Ya van días y varias semanas.
He hasn't given no response, and it's been days, and it's been weeks, and he What do you think, Sarah, this canyon right here?
It's absolutely incredible. I haven't been to Tijuana in a lot of years, and seeing how wide open it is. I mean, I don't know if you could turn the camera around and show everyone just how wide open it is. It's incredible.
A couple of questions. So. Ms. Rashida, what is your opinion on the massive child trafficking that is happening? Y espero logren su objetivo de la justicia a su país. Luchen por su país. Say the best sacrifice for your country. Están bloqueando el acceso. ¡Viva! La Policía Federal o la autoridad nos está deteniendo el acceso y nos está deteniendo el paso para poder cruzar hacia el Zócalo, señores.
How's everybody doing? God bless everybody that is watching. God bless our country of Mexico, our city of Tijuana, and God bless the United States of America. Let's thank God for giving us 2 legs, 2 arms, a mind that we can think, a heart that we can feel, and eyes that we can see. Thank you so much for joining in. It is a pleasure to be with you guys again as we took some days off from a horrible event that we had as we were traveling to Guatemala. We got attacked and assaulted at gunpoint at my colleague Jose Torres from photojournalist from Routers and different other outlets, and also myself as we were broadcasting, and also we were giving you guys we were giving you guys, and just as the broadcast, as everything as it was being basically as we were being broadcasting at this volcano, and we got attacked by 2 criminals. Then later on, we saw that there were 6 of them. And just for everybody to keep updated, the Ministerial Police of Guatemala has contacted us, and they have now a hypothesis of an investigation. This is an organized crime group that operates on that particular side of Guatemala. They have been arrested. They already arrested the female that she is completely now assuring by the fiscal and also by the Ministerial of Investigations in Guatemala. She is the leader of this gang of group of people, that they are family members involved in this group, that they have been assaulting, trafficking, and all kinds of illegal activity in the part of the volcano. And already they have identified the 2 assault men. So the investigation is continuing. And the people of that particular area of the volcano, they are so appreciative that this happened. Really, sadly to us, it happened, but we recorded the horrible event that occurred to us. And now, it is being digested. And ultimately now people are now appreciative that this has, ended as it stopped. And particularly you know, now we have a, you know, information on what is going on continuously due to this effect. We took some days off. First and foremost, I would like to say thank you to all of our audience for the continuous support. My God, I'm out of words for all our followers, friends, and also other networks of the United States of America, Mexico, and Guatemala that they have reached out continuously on a daily day basis. My God, thank you so much, especially to our network, Real America's Voice News, that has, you know, helped us out enormously to get back on our feet, and also the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Thank you so much for your enormous help to get us back on our feet. To all our, you know, all equipment to be, you know, bought again, and so we can get up on our feet. Due to that factor, I will not take a lot of time to explain that, but due to that factor, we are jumping on again on the bandwagon, and possibly in the next incoming days, we are going to be traveling soon again to go back and report. You know, as that is our job, that we are going to continue to report to this, you know, this enormous influx that is occurring at our borders, and ultimately this enormous problem that we have. So, you know, we are going to go back there. We're going to show that we are made, you know, for this. We were made for this, to report on our borders, the enormous influx. So I just want to say to every single one of you, thank you, and humongous thank you for all of your support and to spread this news. So thank you so much. God bless you all. Let's get back to the news, people. That is what we are here for. How's everybody doing? Huge problem. And let me just start off by saying this. You have, you know, this is the United States. For God's sake, you got a huge problem in Mexico with the open borders. You have a huge problem in Central America. You have a huge problem in Europe. You have a huge problem in Africa right now. You have a humongous problem in Haiti. You have a huge problem in Cuba. You have a big problem in Venezuela leaving the communist dictatorship of Nicolas Maduro. You have a big problem in the borders of Poland with Belarus. You have a huge, humongous global world problem right now with Ukraine and Russia. After that, the leader of the most capitalist country of the world, that is the 46th president of the United States of America, Joseph Biden, goes on the State of the Union, and he addresses his, you know, his countrymen. And he tells his countrymen, we are going to process now correctly the people in the borders. Wow. As I was hearing that, I was like, my God, these leftist fascists. That is what I call them now. It is not the Democratic Party. They are leftist fascists. These leftist fascists, they project always. They project what they are doing, and they project they project all the time everything bad that somebody else possibly they think that they're doing. They're projecting continuously. And now this guy is saying that he is going to protect the borders. That is not about defund the police. It is about funding the police. That nothing is going on in the borders and that everything is under control. Do you imagine how these border patrol agents are when they're watching this moron on State of the Union and they're watching him? Do you imagine how they feel when they're listening to him and they're watching how the cartel and the other side of the border, it is continuously funneling people? Can you even imagine the trafficking of children? How the Border Customs and Agency has just released a statement of how many unaccompanied minors have arrived in the fiscal year of 2021 and 2022. Do you know how many? 38,000 unaccompanied minors, people. That is a big problem. So you have this funneling of unaccompanied minors through the north borders of Mexico with the U.S., but where are these unaccompanied minors coming from? Central America, Mexico, South America. So you have a problem that is coexisting in the Central America continent. I have said this before, people, and I will say it again, and I will continually say it for the rest of my life. The continent of America, it is under globalist communist attack. It is under that. Look at what is happening in Canada. Leftist, radical progressive, and, dictator leftist Trudeau. You have Joe Biden in the United States of America. You have AMLO in Mexico. You had Juan Orlando Hernandez in Honduras. Corrupt Yamatei in Guatemala. Nicaragua, you have Ortega. You have the only president that is defending the triangle of Central America. It is Nayib Bukele. From there, you go to Venezuela. Complete problem. Colombia, complete problem. Chile, complete problem. Argentina, humongous problem. Bolsonaro in Brazil. He's corrupt. He's not corrupt. He's fixing it. He's not fixing it. Costa Rica. Oh, my God. Panama. You don't want to even... Peru. You don't even want to talk about what is happening to the continent of America. But you got a president in the United States of America who addresses the population is saying, no, nothing is going on in the south borders. What are you talking about, Oscar Blue? That is a complete lie. It is a complete blatant lie. This was, and I posted these videos during last week. These are confrontations that have been happening at the south border with the National Guard. This is because of the exacerbated situation that exists with an open border between Mexico and Guatemala. I was here before I went to the capital of Guatemala. I was here for a couple of days. I arrived late, and I arrived late to broadcast with catching no sleep. I went directly to broadcast because there was this kind of activity right here. So I broadcasted that day. Look at the rocks, man. I broadcasted that day. There were people from Yemen. There were people from Palestine. There were people from Iran. There were people from Pakistan. There were people from all across the world. So you will see all this, activity with migrants, that the hostility has grown so much, and that ultimately, not only this, that they are tired that the process is so slow and there's no solutions by the government, and also there's no solutions ultimately by the migrants. So the process is really easy. There's a process to be done. There's a paperwork, so you have to wait. But the migrants say, you know what? We don't want to wait for that. It takes so long. And because it takes so long, how are we going to live? So you open the border. You allow, again, this problem to continue. You have migrants that are coming in out of persecution, out of necessity, out of poverty, out of all these things. But all of these migrants, they don't have not a permit to work. They don't have nothing to eat. They don't have nothing to provide to their families. So what are they going to do? They're going to push and push and push for this permit of humanitarian visa and humanitarian transit visa to give them to them. Hey, we want it. We want it now. We want it now. We don't want to be here. Ultimately, this tells you that where do they want to go? They tell that they want to go to the capital of Mexico. That they don't want to go to, they don't want to go to other place. But from there, they trickle to go to the United States, and they trickle to go to the north border. They know how to enter now. They know how to enter now this in an enormous, irregular way. Somebody saying, Oscar Blue, contact me. Let's expose this evil further. Whoever wants to contact me, you got my email right there. So this is how I've been in these confrontations multiple times, and it is a sad thing to see. It is a sad thing to see because there's children, because there's women, and all of this. Everybody thinks, how in the hell this happened? How do we got to this point? How do we got to a point that we have these kind of, look at this, man. Look at this. Look at this. You got the National Guard all the way to the back. There's fire, tires, there's rocks being thrown. Is there why we don't have a solution for this problem? It's been 5 years that it's been this problem still continuing. Why there is no solution, why there is not a process to be done, why there's not a humanitarian legitimate help for the migrant population, why the police officers and National Guard officials are continually being hurt, why the Army officers are continually being thrown rocks at it, why the Army officers, some of them, border officers, are taking advantage and also torturing migrants. That is a reality. I don't want to pander to one side to another. You're going to get reality news right here. Not right, not left. What it is. We have a problem. And not only that, you have the number one problem. That is the administration at the north. That is the United States of America. The current one. The one that says, you know what? Invite. Let them come. You don't send a message clear, this is never going to end. I'm not saying do not come. I'm not saying, you know what, you're not allowed. I'm not saying, you're not accepted. No. If you're going to say this is the process to be done, why don't you just say it? Why don't you just come out of the camera on the State of the Union and say this? We have a humongous problem at our border. We are doing not a good job. This is what we're going to do. Don't come out of the State of the Union saying that we're fixing, we're bringing technology, we're bringing this. And ultimately, now you're putting a proposal for border agents that they want to be deployed to the borders of Ukraine. When you have detention centers where in the United States you are overwhelmed. You cannot even take care of your own detention centers. You are overwhelmed. And you're trying to send border agents to the border of Ukraine? Holy cow. What the hell is going on with you? Before I continue, share this video out. Like this video. Like the video, please. If you like the video, you can share that. You can reach more people. So we need to like the video, hit that bell. We're live at YouTube, we're live at Facebook, and we're live at Twitter. So give it a like to those videos, man. But I want those likes to go on, man. So this video can be shared. So we got this problem. You got the State of the Union. You got now the cartel that is shooting at agents of the United States of America. Now you want to close that door. Now Biden wants to close that door. What do you think you're dealing with, Joe? You think you're dealing with people that they negotiate? No, these are relentless people that you open the door. And when you open the door, you think they're going to come back to you and say, hey, Jose. So Joe Biden just said that he's going to close now. He doesn't want nobody there. Okay, let me say it to Raul. Hey, Raul, ya no más. He said no more. Okay, let me just tell, hey, Eric. He said no more. He said leave. Do you think that they're going to be like that? Hell no. You already opened the door and they don't want it closed. They do not want it closed. They want this funneling to continue. This is a problem that is still, this is video given by our colleague Juan Manuel Blanco. As I was not there at this confrontation because I was returning back from Guatemala. But this was, look at this guy. Huh? Why are we having these kind of confrontations? Hostility and necessity. When you have necessity, poverty, you have a confrontation. The government of Mexico has been completely complicit also and has been part of this problem. And it has an incompetent way of fixing things. You're not fixing them. You have more problems in Mexico with cartel activity. You got leaders and campaigns of cartel leaders. You got the funneling of fentanyl right now in our country of Mexico. And we're putting our National Guard officials through this. and you're having confrontations with migrants like this. Where are the priorities of the Mexican government, for God's sake? First and foremost. And where are the priorities of the Biden administration, just standing there at the State of the Union and trying to look all beautiful and everybody clapping in? Not only that, you got all these rhinos sitting down on the State of the Union that, they're just securing their they're securing their seats. That's what they're doing. I'm sorry for the American population. I'm Mexican. I'm a foreigner to your country. But I'm just trying to tell you this. These rhinos that they were sitting down at the State of the Union, I cannot believe that they're standing up and clapping for these fools. Why are you standing and clapping for this fool when you are preaching that you have an insecure border? Who understands you? So before the State of the Union address, everybody, all these, that there were rhinos sitting down, all these people saying, oh yeah, we got an insecure border, and they got a lot of trafficking, and you got a lot of this, and you got a lot of that, and you got this, and you got that, and everybody on the Republican Party, yes, that's the guy I'm standing. He's defending the United States. He's defending the border. He's about the truth. But you go to the State of the Union, and what do? When they're talking about border security, when they're talking about all the trafficking, they hear Joe Biden say, and we're going to fix the border, and they get up, and they clap. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. You just are comfortable. You don't want to get fired, right? You need to pander to the Democrats. So in the State of the Union, you better look, because Nancy and Kamala are looking at you, and you better, hey, Ted Cruz, get up and clap. Get up and clap. I'm telling you. So Ted Cruz gets up and gets, right? But before that, no, I'm right here standing at the border. I see a lot of illegals coming in. Holy cow. You need a pair of coconuts to go in there and say, you are lying. There's a bunch of trafficking of children. Children are suffering. This is what is happening in the south border, provoked by continuous open border policies. Why are we putting migrants to have confrontations and hurt themselves with the authority? This is not the solution. If we are going to create a migration through Central America and South America, first and foremost, let's help their countries so they will not stop, so they will stop migrating like this. Second of all, fix the corruption. Third of all, if you're going to continue with this, where's the United Nations? Where I have asked so many times this question, where is the United Nations helping to correct this global pact of migration that they created? Nowhere to be seen. So this is what happened, and this is what has been happening down in the south border. I shared this video. So I want to share with you. Let's get those lies of this president of the United States up, man. I want to share with you what has been recently happening, because those confrontations were around a week ago. What is recently happening right now? So because of the confrontations, migrants from Africa and migrants from Haiti have been fighting. Look how a system works. You know how the government works? Let me put an example, a hypothetical example. Let me just throw the hot potato right here. This is how the government works. So you have to have good and you have to have evil. You have to have a left and you have to have a right. You have to have an anarchy and you have to have patriotism. So how it's working right now in the United States, you got to have Antifa, you got to have Black Lives Matter, you got to have the other division. So let's cause division and let's cause conflict. Meanwhile, we're focused on sitting down and making more money and growing the business. distracting the people from the reality of what is happening. So at the same time, this is what is happening in Tapachula. You got migrants from Africa, you got migrants from Haiti, that they're tired of this, that there's no documentation, there's a process to be done, and they're attending them. But because this is the solution, there's always law and order. There is a process to be done. People need to understand that there is law and there is constitutional laws in every country. There is a process of immigration. I'm sorry, that is the way it is. Reality, whether you like processes, whether you don't like processes, there is a reality of everything. And when you get to a country that you have not been through a process, through Brazil, Argentina, Chile, no process, Colombia, no process, Venezuela, no process, Costa Rica, no process, Panama, no process, Nicaragua, no process, Honduras, no process, Guatemala, no process, and then you get to Mexico and there's a process. This is what happens. Situations get exacerbated. People start getting tired. This is 1 week after the confrontation that I shown you. These are migrants from Africa and Haiti waiting for the humanitarian visa and the visa of transit, a process that it has been hurtful for the migrant population, because why are you accepting by the hundreds of thousands and you're keeping them in one city without no job, without no food? What is the purpose of that? Why? Where is these gigantic global organizations that they're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars? Do you know who's getting hundreds of thousands of dollars out of this? The organized crime. The traffickers. You push the other business that is a huge business, multi-billion business, to continue. So you put a barrier and you say this is a process. You got to wait this kind of months. You know, you have to have this kind of paperwork. But they're only attending 300 people. They can attend more. I don't care. There's a process. So you push people to do things illegally. People say, I don't want to wait. There's a process. It's a legal way. It's too tiring. It's too extensive. It's too exhausted. Then all of a sudden you hear somebody, hey, there's somebody over there that they can take you with this amount of money. What do you think they're going to do? If you have these kind of confrontations, look how they break a barrier of a National Guard. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to wait for a process? Or they're going to go, sadly, asking for a coyote? This situation has been continuing. And it has not been changing. We are going on more than 5 years of this. Since 2015, Barack Obama signed the Global Compact on Migration with Enrique Peña Nieto, the past president of Mexico. Both of them, they knew what they were doing and what was going to happen. So we have 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. We are going on 7 years of this, and it is exactly the same. Why is it not getting fixed? Why is it only a profit? These NGOs, a lot of NGOs getting a bunch of money, unaccompanied minors, which they are being distributed in the United States of America by NGOs and by also Catholic charities. Where are they taking them? Why are they not letting reporters to know about their whereabouts? Why the flights late at night with distributions? Why you're not explaining that you're actually deporting also by the small amounts directly to the country of Guatemala unaccompanied minors? But you're accepting hundreds of thousands unaccompanied minors. Why a police officer has to go right here and tell people how to line up? Why there's no process? This actually happened to a migrant. This is how he ended up, because there was a process for him to be done. How sad is this? Do you know why this is happening? And I have said this word before. Resources. It is going to be key. The resources. This is a migrant that escaped from the authorities of the Institute National Immigration. And sadly, this happened. They took everybody. They took everybody.
Yo siento que si uno hace un delito, tiene derecho que lo lleven preso.
I believe that if you commit a crime, the authority has the authority to take you and detain you.
Con papeles y todo se lo llevaron.
Yo ando mis documentos aquí.
I have my documents legally to be here in Mexico, but look what they did to me.
Me acaban de pegar. Mira, aquí está un golpe.
Look, they hit me right here on the bottom of the mouth. Look, they just hit me everywhere.
Aquí. No busco problemas con nadie.
Look, they hit me right here and here. I don't look problems with nobody.
Sí, pero migración se pasó la pija.
But immigration officers, they just, they took this too far. Why this happens? Because you have an exacerbated situation at the south border. INAMI officers also, a lot of them, they're not qualified and they're not trained correctly to treat a migrant or to ultimately investigate and interrogate what is he doing. So in immediate fashion, they take the abuse of authority. I'm not pandering. I'm just saying this is a complete disaster. Not only at the level of as an authority, but also at the level of immigrants, migrants, people that they're crossing. It is a complete disaster on both sides. Look at this confrontation. This was a confrontation that happened late at night yesterday. Late at night yesterday. There's a comment said, I thought you said they were poor and starving. How can they pay the cartel? A lot of them, they have money to pay. So a lot of them, they don't. The ones that they don't, they stay on a process and they live on the street. A lot of them, they have family members in the United States of America who send them money. A lot of them, they sell their houses and they sell their properties to go on this travesty. I have explained this multiple times before. A lot of them, they sell their cars. A lot of them, they sell their land. A lot of them, they sell their businesses. A lot of them, they sell whatever it is to just go on this hurtful travesty all the way to the north of the United States, to the north of the continent. And a lot of them, they have family members. This is a confrontation that happened the other day, last night, as migrants confronted the National Guard of Mexico. And it is because there's no solution also by the government. Look at this. Let me just return this video. So a lot of you, who's right here in the back? Do you see this band right here in the back? Look what is happening right here at this band in the back. This is why I say abuse of authority. But ultimately, there's no control. This is why processes and things that there need to be done correctly under the law are so important. When you have a lawlessness border, when you don't have no control, and when you are accepting without providing promises that you said that you were going to provide, that causes a problem. Remember, AMLO, the president of Mexico, said, I'm going to provide them jobs. I'm going to provide them opportunities. They're going to be well taken care of. It is a complete blatant lie. So when you have that, add to the fact that they come over here and they don't have no money, they don't have no jobs. A lot of them. This is what happened. Look at the band that I just told you. Look at the back. You see an officer right here detaining, right? Look what happens. This is why I say there's poor training. How can the authorities of Mexico let this exacerbate to this point? Look at what happens right here at the band. You see a guy with a white shirt and khaki pants. Look what happens. Punch right there. One. Punch, kick right there. Why do we have to be confronting this way? Why is this the holy cow? Is this the solution for confrontations? And then you got a guy on the State of the Union saying that everything is controlled and everything is all right. Look at this. Some comments said some owe money and pay it working slave wages in the U.S. If they go to work in the U.S., even illegally, they will keep paying the debt. Yes, absolutely. Some of them, they ask for money to be loaned. And when they get to the United States, it's still they got to pay the debt. So I'm just returning back this video so you guys can see in the back. This was a confrontation that happened yesterday. So if you come and tell me that everything is all right, that everything is good at the border, look at this rocks, man, and that you're handling it, and that, look at the blood right here, that everything is being handled, and that everything is under control. Does that State of the Union give you an idea of how honest these people are being? We know that they're lying in the United States, and we know that they're lying in my country of Mexico. Ultimately, we know. We know that. But why are we continuing to leave these people? And then you got these rhinos getting up on the State of the Union and like, oh my God, he just said protection of the border. That is what I was advocating this whole time. No, moron. You were saying this, and that about insecure border. Now you, because you're under your comfortable seat, you don't want to look bad in front of the boss, Kamala, and in front of the boss, Nancy Pelosi, so you're going to get up and clap? The hell is that? Where is your loyalty to what you just said? And you have been pandering for more than 1 year. So because of that, next thing you know, and for everybody to understand how this is going to get not even worse, but it's going to get to a point that right now it is understandable that there's a lot of smuggling. This happened yesterday. 153 migrants were found in a warehouse. And let me go and read the article so I can translate. This video tells you about 153 migrants that they were found at a warehouse in Tapachula, the south border. 153 of them were found. All these 153, they were children that they were recently born, and they were children also. Let me play the video. See, so it was a huge operation. 157. Yes, 157. I apologize. 157. They were found at a warehouse that it was used to operate as a bar. Or they made it look like it was operating as a bar. So a huge operation of INAMI officials and also National Guard officials arrived to this place. For everybody to know, buy me a copy. It's on the top link if you guys like to contribute to our travel fund. Thank you so much. So they arrived to this place. And guess what? All of the people that they were in, they were all Cuban. All of them. They were all Cuban. And they were staying there abandoned. That this is not the first time people are going to say, oh my God, the traffickers abandoning them. This has happened before. This is the place. Coyotes and traffickers sometimes abandon them when they're in the back of a tractor trailer. They let them there for days. Some of them make it out, some of them don't. These are the horrible risks that migrants go through, people go through the illegal way to get to the United States. As migrants were getting out and they were being detained, because this created an atmosphere with the neighbors. A lot of people were saying, there's people there day in and day out. A lot of people are making a lot of noise. So they complained to the authorities. The authorities came and they saw this huge population of migrants inside of a house, inside of a warehouse, where, you know, ultimately this warehouse was not for parties and bars. So they saw that this was a huge problem. They arrived, the authorities took care of it. And when migrants came out of these Cubans came out, they said, we are running away from a dictatorship of Castro in Cuba. We just want to live. We just want to go to a place. So they can ultimately, they can get to the United States of America. So the thing is that if they abandoned them, were they waiting to get paid, or what they were waiting for? Sometimes, you know, the migrants pay all the way till they get to the north border. Sometimes they just pay half of it when they're, you know, being transported to. Apparently, these people were going to be transported to the border of Tabasco, the other state that is next to Chiapas. And from there, being transported to the north border. So this is quite a scene right here. But let me just show you the picture of how it looks, of how the picture that the INAMI officers or the authorities took of the 157 migrants inside of the warehouse. And this is the picture. 157 of them. Now, let me remind you and bring back the tape. Do you guys remember? Somebody saying, Oscar, please report on the 17 men who were slaughtered in Michoacan State last week. What was that about? There's a cartel war in Michoacan and in Guerrero. A little bit off topic. You're a little bit way off topic of what is happening between migrants and the cartel and the Guerrero situation and the fight against the organized crime and the fight against the cartel. That's a whole different topic. But it was just, you know, ajuste de cuentas, like they say, adjustments of counts, when they just, you know, take care of stuff. That's how they do. This is the picture that it was taking of the 157 people, 157 migrants of Cuba inside of this warehouse, waiting for 4 days. 4 days inside of this warehouse. No water, no food, no nothing. In some of the cases, the smugglers take the money and they just leave them there, abandon them. So this is the actual situation. And when you hear a person on the United States of America talking about, you know, we're taking care of the situation, you know, we are going to take care of the situation. We have everything under control. Everything is going to be under control. There's nothing going on in the United States-Mexico border. We're putting technology. We are doing this. We're doing that. In the next incoming days, Ken Salazar, the ambassador of the United States of America in Mexico, is going to meet up with AMLO, president of Mexico, in the south border of Tapachula. This is going to be huge. And they are going to talk about the immigration situation. Ken Salazar has been repeatedly concerned about the smuggling and the trafficking business that it is occurring in the country of Mexico right now with the current influx and current migration situation. Ken Salazar has been extremely preoccupied of that. And it has been saying that that needs to end. Specifically, that needs to end. That they need to have control over the funneling of money that is existing continuously through those barriers that Mexico it is protecting so much too. Why am I saying protecting so much too? Because there's a lot of corruption between governmental officials. And there's a lot of corruption not only through governmental officials, but ultimately also through authorities in Mexico. And there's a multi-billion business that we have said and that we have talked about, that this multi-billion business, it is something that it needs to be addressed. And Ken Salazar, the ambassador of the United States in Mexico, wants to bring this topic to light in the next incoming days. I think it's extremely important to address this situation and to everybody to know what is going to come next. What is going to come out next? This is another important issue that I wanted to talk about. And as soon as this loads, I will translate this into this. I was not watching the comments. I thought that the comments stopped there for a minute. And it stopped there for a minute. But I have them right now. So this is what happened yesterday, as the United States has a huge problem with the trafficking of fentanyl. And this happened in Tijuana. Yesterday, they seized 2 laboratories, warehouses. They did raids and they seized 2 laboratories of fentanyl in Tijuana. It says 2 warehouses that they served as laboratories were discovered in Tijuana with more than 120,000 pills that they describe as fentanyl. The Fiscal General of the Republic arrived to the installations that they were located in El Altiplano, that is close to the 2000 Boulevard, that is the name. And it is close to the border of the United States of America. The 2 laboratories were found by the municipal authorities of Tijuana as they were doing their routes. Also, they assured and they seized 98,464 compressed fentanyl and 20.8 kilos that they were in process. The ministerial police solicited a judge to have the controls of and the investigations of this. And the Interior also, they seized 146.7 kilos of acetaminophen. Excuse me. .1 kilos of fentanyl, 81.6 kilos of inositol, 65.3 kilos of matinol, 10.9 kilos of metamizole, and 14.5 thousand pieces of metamizole. As also, they found 22,160 compressed fentanyl pieces, 2 machines, automatic, subtract machines for the making of fentanyl, a mixer, 2 hydraulic pressers of anti-box with sources, also 6 vehicles and 2 motorcycles. This was a humongous operation that it was done yesterday by the authorities of Tijuana in the east side of the city. Fentanyl, that it has been extremely aggravated, this trafficking, as is continuing to the United States of America. How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News correspondent for Real America's Voice News and the Wendy Bell Radio Network. This is our news as we are going 51 minutes and 35 seconds in on this show. Again, I want to appreciate and thank everybody for your support and your continuous support. As, believe me, we have received all of your messages through this situation that we went through in Guatemala, and we appreciate with full heart everything that you guys have done for us, specifically our network, Real America's Voice News. Thank you so much for getting us back on our feet, and the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Thank you, and thank you so much, and all our supporters, followers, and friends. Thank you so much. On behalf of Jose Torres from Reuters, photojournalist, Border Network News, and Oscar Blue, we want to say thank you to every single one of you. Thank you so much to an anonymous supporter just distributed a coffee right here. So thank you so much. Buy me a coffee. It's on the top link. If you guys like to contribute to our travel fund, we are going to be traveling soon again to, again, broadcast the reality and truth. As we have shown that what we do, it is dangerous. And that specifically, it is not easy to be a reporter and reporting on this current situations that they are happening in our borders, not only in the north, but also in the south. 53 minutes in, if you guys want to ask a question, I will answer. You got 7 minutes to answer questions. I will answer a couple of questions. As you know, people want to ask a lot of questions. So I'm right here at the live feed. I'm checking on your questions. Whoever wants to drop a question at the live feed, I will read it and try to answer it. So you can follow me at Getter, Telegram, Instagram as Oscar Blue Media and Oscar Blue Team. You can follow me at YouTube. Subscribe to our channel at YouTube as Oscar L. Blue. Also, Facebook as Oscar L. Blue. Telegram, Twitter as Oscar L. Blue. What's the status on Juan Orlando Hernandez and what does it mean for the rest of the region? Domino effect. They already processed a list of people that they served under the government of Juan Orlando Hernandez. And the United States wants to extradite these individuals for corruption and drug trafficking. The status, it is completely undisclosed. And, nobody knows what is the current status of this ex-president of Honduras. But the only thing that I can tell you is that there is a list of extradited people from the government of Honduras. Oscar, what about Title 42? What about it? Oscar, what is your opinion of bioweapons labs in Ukraine funded by the U.S.? I'm not going to get into that because that is a different topic. And that is a topic that it needs to be addressed at a different live feed. But how did the Cuban people get there? Some of them, they fly to Haiti. Some of them fly to Costa Rica. Some of them fly to Panama. Some of them fly to Venezuela. A lot of them they leave on a boat. So it's a lot of things, a lot of ways that they can get out. What can we do to make people aware of the situation we are in? Share the videos, share information, and sit down with your friends and colleagues and talk about it every once in a while. Talk about it every once in a while. Just talk about it, and just just have a little conversation. A lot of the places and a lot of people say if you want to have an awful conversation at a table, don't bring up politics and religion. But in these particular times, we don't have no other option. It is part of our lives, and it is going to affect enormously the future of our children and grandchildren. So it is a topic that it needs to be brought, as uncomfortable as it sounds, and it needs to be, talked about. So I believe that is one of the things that you can do. Q, Oscar. I don't believe in Q, and I don't believe in Q. I don't know why you brought up Q. Would you ever consider requesting a meeting with Brandon or someone in charge of This American Side to get answers? Why? Why? Why am I going to request? I live in Mexico. If you're an American, request it yourself. Why? I'm a reporter. I'm a journalist. Hey, Oscar, any idea how Cuba is going? There was a lot of protests and they cut the net. The problem is that Cuba is such a big problem. The problem is that Cuba is such a big problem. And I have asked so many times migrants from Cuba as I'm in the south border, and I ask them the really particular question that all these leftist fascists in the United States and also some leftist fascists in Mexico, they have their idea that is because of the embargo, that is because of the American imperialism, that is because of all this. And I will tell you something. You ask all the Cuban migrants if what you're suffering is because of the embargo, and every single one of them, they tell you it has nothing to do with the embargo. It has to do with freedom. The embargo has nothing to do with us fishing our own sea, eating on our own table. Has nothing to do with that. This is Cuban people saying and answering this question. So, it starts by understanding the current situations that Cubans are going through and how the leftist fascists, they're pushing their narrative to rub it on their throats and say, no, you like communism. Rah. It is because of the American imperialism. Eat it up. No, Maduro's right. It is not socialism and communism. That is a dictator, but it's because of the embargo. It's because of the sanctions of the United States. Rah, eat it up. It is just so horrible, these leftist fascists, what they do. Another question. I already answered that. How do Cubans get to the south border? I already did. God bless every single one of you. 59 minutes in. Thank you so much for joining in this live feed. We are going to come back at our normal hours. Before I go, normal hours, what are they? 4 o'clock West Coast time. It is the time that we were doing lives before. We are going to continue with our programs, and we are going to basically go back to our normal hours. In Spanish, I'm still, tentative to see where and what time of hour I will be doing Spanish. But, English is going to be done at 4 o'clock West Coast time from Monday to Friday. If I'm traveling, there's no way I will be doing 4 o'clock continuously on one day. I have a lot of, things that I had to do when I'm walking and doing all this broadcast. But, but ultimately, this is important for you guys to know, 4 o'clock West Coast time from Monday to Friday. We will start on Tuesday, not Monday, on Tuesday. I wanted to come in here, and also I will be live streaming on the Wendy Bell Radio Network app. Thank you again to our network, Real America's Boys News. Thank you so much. God bless you in the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Thank you. And thank you. Every time that we go live, it will be live on YouTube. Also, I will be live at Getter. I did not go live at Getter today, but I will be live at Getter. Go live at Facebook and also the Wendy Bell Radio app. Go to the Wendy Bell Radio app. Go to the App Store. Download the app, Wendy Bell Radio Network. Get that app, and ultimately subscribe to the Wendy Bell Radio Network. It is a great, great app. Thank you. Follow me at the platforms that I said before. Follow my partner, Real Anthony Agüero. Follow Ben Berquam at Real America's Boys News. And also download the app at RealAmericasBoysNews.com. Follow all the correspondents that there are Real America's Boys News. Steve Bannon, Terrence and Jessica. Good morning, Good morning, Real America's Boys News. Also, Steve Groover, Dr. Gina, and all these great individuals that they are working with our network. God bless you all. Stay safe. And like we always say, people, peace and love, because always your country's first. God bless.
Ya van días y varias semanas.
He hasn't given no response, and it's been days, and it's been weeks, and What do you think, Sarah, this canyon right here?
It's absolutely incredible. I haven't been to Tijuana in a lot of years, and seeing how wide open it is. I mean, I don't know if you could turn the camera around and show everyone just how wide open it is. It's incredible.
Couple of questions. So. Rashida, what is your opinion on the massive child trafficking that is happening? Y espero logren su objetivo de la justicia a su país. Luchen por su país. Say the basically fight for your country. Están bloqueando el acceso. ¡Viva! La Policía Federal o la autoridad nos está deteniendo el acceso y nos está deteniendo el paso para poder cruzar hacia el Zócalo, señores.